starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch 12 at 5. I'm Nate Myhock. Small towns are known for their mom and pop shops, and one in Rhinelander has made it to the third generation. Newswatch 12's Michael Lodholtz has the story.
A business that's been in downtown Rhinelander for decades.
We're an old feed mill. Used to be on the railroad line here back behind the store.
All the while, staying in the same family.
My grandfather opened it back in 1970. My parents took it over in the year 2000.
And then Michael Kosmarski bought it last year. After the farmer's feed store was closed for 7 months, Kosmarski thought it was his turn to take the reins.
Really, it's just because I wanted to keep the small business open in Rhinelander and keep it running just the way it was.
Michael marks the third generation of Kosmarskis running this Rhinelander staple. The community has relied on this feed store for over 50 years. So when the store reopened in February, it was like nothing had changed.
A lot of people are very happy and we're really concerned about where they could buy the products that they bought from us really for decades.
Part of what makes the feed store special are the unique building features, some of which date back over 100 years.
What we have that nobody else has in Rhinelander is I'm able to sell a lot of bulk grain items, that because we actually have bins and grain elevators and silos in the roof that nobody else has.
Which helps connect the business to its deep family roots. Moving forward, Kosmarski hopes to keep the legacy alive.
At the moment, I'm really just trying to build back what my grandfather had years ago.
In Rhinelander, Michael Lodholtz for Newswatch 12.
Well, Chief Meteorologist Jeff Weller joining us live in studio. Jeff, it seems like it's been forever, but finally some 60s, some 70s in the forecast.
Here we are in Minocqua right now with plenty of sunshine and temperatures up in the upper 60s. There are a couple of 70s across central Wisconsin now. Tomorrow, same story, followed by even warmer temperatures getting in here early next week. But look at these temperatures now. We're back in the yellows. We'll take it. Mid 60s, even a couple upper 60s currently. We're going to fall off into the upper 30s to low 40s for low temperatures tonight. There are some clouds out there, and it looks like we're in trouble, right? But we're not. There's high pressure over us right now. That will keep all of this at bay, but there are some clouds in the upper atmosphere helping to filter that sunshine outside currently. And there's a lot going on over here, but this is going to miss us. But this will not. That's coming in after the weekend. That's going to bring us some rain showers, most likely later on Mother's Day into the early parts of next week. Our forecast, though, tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies, dry, with low temperatures down near 40. Your full forecast is coming up. Nate.
Sounds great. Thank you, Jeff. The city of Rhinelander is working on creating a new fund dedicated to planting new trees within the city. Naturally, the announcement came on Arbor Day, and the goal is for the fund to support restoration, planting, and management of trees within public spaces. Now they are inviting businesses, groups, and even individuals to donate to the fund. So far, City Administrator Zach Vruwink and Mayor Chris Hannes have made a pledge for $500. The goal is to hopefully reach $10,000 for the project. A new survey shows that many people in Wisconsin have a strong support for law enforcement. However, they also feel that respect for police officers has dropped. The numbers come from a survey conducted by the Wisconsin Professional Police Association. According to them, 77% approve of the way local officers are handling their jobs. Meanwhile, 73% say the respect for the profession has gone down in the past year. Departments around the state are saying that the change in public perception is having a negative impact on their ability to bring in new recruits. And they also believe that physical assaults against those in law enforcement could also play a role in the increase of new applicants, or the decrease rather. In the past 4 years, the number of assaults on cops in the state went up by 42%. A suspect was arrested in connection to a weapons discharge at a Prentice bar on April 23rd. According to reports, emergency services was contacted early in the morning when a patron revealed a firearm and then fired it into the air. There were no apparent injuries, but several individuals who were allegedly involved in a possible altercation had fled the scene prior to the arrival of law enforcement. According to Price County Sheriff Brian Schmidt, the individual who fired the weapon was arrested and then taken to a local hospital. That was done in order to administer a blood draw and check for the presence of drugs or alcohol. The investigation remains ongoing, and once that wraps up, the report will be sent to the district attorney to consider if there will be prosecution. More people in the U.S. are dying from complications linked to alcohol abuse. A new study in the medical journal JAMA finds alcohol-related deaths skyrocketed 22% last year. The biggest increase was among people 25 to 44 years old, with a jump of nearly 34%. The numbers could actually be even higher since researchers were limited to information provided on death certificates. Researchers say the pandemic is likely behind the rise in alcohol-related deaths, with the number of people dying because of drinking jumping nearly 25% in 2020. A new estimate from the World Health Organization has revealed that 14.9 million people have died around the world as a result of COVID-19. That new estimate is nearly 3 times higher than the previous number of reported deaths. There were 5.4 million COVID-19 deaths reported to the WHO between January 2020 and December of 2021, but that doesn't factor in what's known as excess deaths. That includes deaths directly attributed to COVID-19 that weren't counted or reported, along with deaths indirectly associated with the pandemic because of its impact on things like healthcare systems. The number also takes into account deaths that didn't happen thanks to pandemic safety measures. We've seen fewer people die in car crashes, for example. Altogether, though, the WHO says the excess death toll adds up to about 9.5 million. On the first Thursday of May, communities across the nation observe a National Day of Prayer. It's a chance for communities to gather and petition for their community, state, and nation. Northwoods towns like Tomahawk gathered for a service this morning. The St. Mary's Children's Choir started the service in song, and the pastor leading the service believed that it was important to include them in the event.
I think it's important for us to see the hope that we have in the kids that are coming up.
Churches from the surrounding area had their congregations in attendance. After gathering together, the churches went to pray in their own surrounding neighborhoods.
They have broken the city off into sections, and each church or organization will go around and pray for their sections.
The group prayed for the government, military, media, business, education, and church and family. The service closed in song and a flag procession. A major chain store has settled with the state of Florida over concerns of their role in the opioid crisis. We'll have the details after Weather with Jeff right here on Newswatch 12.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
The lowest prices of the season sale is happening now at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Save up to 40% off clearance and special buy appliances. Plus, pay no interest for 12 months and guaranteed 5-day delivery on in-stock items. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Is a new roof on your spring to-do list? Hi, I'm Paul, owner of Overhead Solutions. Now is a great time to think ahead and secure a spot for that replacement on our schedule. Go ahead and call our competitors, but before you sign on that dotted line, call Overhead Solutions. I believe our high quality and fair price can beat our competition.
Call Overhead Solutions for a free roof estimate.
Remember, don't overpay. Call Overhead. Overhead Solutions.
Sue right, Jake middle, me on the left. Yeah, I knew I'd win.
Are you saying
What's
something?
really happening over there?
I think you're on mute.
There's no substitute for real gaming fun. Go where fun lives. Ho Chung Gaming Wittenberg.
This Mother's Day, celebrate the mothers in your life. Show them how grateful you are that they have taught you to love unconditionally and shown you how to have your light shine everywhere you can.
And you say, just because I love you, just because you're you, just because you're special.
Tell them you love them with an everlasting flower or bouquet of flowers by nationally known artist Christine Alfery.
The natural beauty of the Northwoods beckons us to play outdoors, but there is a visitor we must carefully avoid: ticks and the illnesses they carry.
I thought it was a tick bite, but my test was negative. Then I had months of joint aches, brain fog, and bad headaches.
Our medical staff is thorough, experienced, and focused on the patient.
One approach doesn't work for all. Treating a tick-borne illness requires experience in treating multiple symptoms and developing unique care plans. Call us today.
The lowest prices of the season sale is happening now at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Save up to 40% off clearance and special buy appliances. Plus, pay no interest for 12 months and guaranteed 5-day delivery on in-stock items. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Welcome back, my friends. You and I get to chat weather for a few minutes, and we're not quite here yet, but still, there could be some 80-degree temperatures in our forecast Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Thursday of next week. Right now, we'll take it with sunshine, and we're getting up in the mid-60s to a couple low 70s out there. They are few and far between. Tomorrow, same story, followed by a bit of a cool down on Saturday, but overall this weekend, the fishing opener, put the boat in the water Saturday. You have temperatures basically near 60 with a light east breeze. And we are beginning to build some heat across the Midwest. Now, don't go here. There's lots of clouds over here right now keeping temperatures down. Look at this stuff over there. That is going to move our direction. And once it gets here over the weekend, it is not going to go anywhere quickly. We are now talking about above average temperatures through much, if not all of next week. The average high being in the 60s. We could easily do 70s, and a couple of you could go for 80 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. In fact, here's that trend going forward. So again, the average high being in mid-upper 60s. Look, 67 tomorrow, 65 for Saturday, 62 Sunday, but then right back up, 68 on Monday. Those are mid, even upper 70s. There's a couple of models now, computer modeling, that still says that I might be underdoing it a bit for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're talking potentially some low 80s in the forecast for us later next week. We'll see, right? All right, so the temperatures also are kicking up the allergies. If you're sneezing, hopefully it's not COVID. Hopefully it's just allergies, right? Tree pollen in the moderate to high category, grass pollen in the moderate categories now. Look for these to skyrocket beginning tomorrow and over the weekend. We're talking about tree pollen in the high category and grass pollen pretty much all of next week. So if you're sniffling and sneezing, this could be a reason why. All right, lots of cloud cover across central Wisconsin today. Now, there are some high clouds across our neck of the woods, blowing off some storms across parts of Iowa today. But the atmosphere is kind of energized right now. There's a jet stream overhead with winds near 160 miles per hour. That's kind of stirring up the atmosphere a bit, thus the haziness you see out there currently. But overall, we will stay dry tonight because high pressure is about right there. That will keep all of this to our south this evening and take all that severe weather with it. For us, though, our attention then turns over here. This will hold off, though, until probably later on Sunday into Monday. Of course, Sunday is Mother's Day. It looks dry through much of the day, maybe some showers at night. Walking you through it here, so there's a cloud cover staying to our south tonight. Tomorrow, we have a lot of sunshine back in the forecast tomorrow. Also for Saturday, it's going to be a great weekend for fishing and getting out on the lakes. Our forecast then tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies, low or not so low temperatures down near 40 with that east breeze. For Friday, all right, partly cloudy skies tomorrow, highs reaching for 70, probably stopping just short with that east breeze. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwest Furniture and Mattress shows a gorgeous forecast, right? Saturday 65, Mother's Day 62. Those are 70s with some thunder showers in the forecast next week. Nate?
Thank you, Jeff. The White House says it has a plan to replenish the country's emergency oil reserve. The solution is to buy more. The Energy Department is expected to announce a buyback plan where the government would seek bids to buy 60 million barrels of crude oil. It would be the first time since the early 2000s that the Energy Department has acquired large quantities of oil for the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. The stockpile has been drained by the war in Ukraine and by sales mandated by Congress to raise revenue. It's not a quick fix, though. The process is expected to take years, and 60 million barrels will only refill about 1/3 of what was released. The Biden administration also hopes the buyback plan will encourage domestic oil production by guaranteeing a source of future demand. The Dow dropped 1,000 points on Thursday morning. A huge shift from Wednesday's massive gains after the Fed reassured investors it wasn't actively considering more big rate hikes. But even if big hikes don't happen, more tightening could threaten economic growth. One economist said policy tightening risks potential recession, job loss, and lost wages. Tighter financial conditions could ultimately weigh on virtually all financial markets. However, any impact you'd feel will take time to play out. The Florida Attorney General announced the Walgreens pharmacy chain has reached a $683 million settlement with the state of Florida in a lawsuit accusing the company of improperly dispensing millions of painkillers. The settlement comes after 4 weeks of trial, during which the state put on witnesses to prove that Walgreens was supplying huge amounts of highly addictive prescription drugs. The trial was expected to last up to 8 weeks, but just yesterday the judge abruptly stopped the proceedings and said she needed to speak with attorneys. Earlier today, Ashley Moody announced Walgreens agreed to settle the case after vigorous prosecution.
Walgreens is the 12th and final defendant in our case to hold major opioid distributors, manufacturers, and pharmaceutical companies accountable for fueling this crisis. This announcement brings the total funds secured through all of our determined litigation efforts to more than $3 billion for the state of Florida.
Walgreens is the only pharmacy that did not settle its case with Florida and elected to go to trial. Moody says the settlement is a major victory in line with action against other major players in the opioid crisis. The Supreme Court's leaked Roe v. Wade draft opinion is pushing many abortion clinics to get ready for a potential surge in out-of-state patients. That includes clinics in states near Wisconsin. Mary Joala reports.
If Roe v. Wade is tossed out, Wisconsin state law would outlaw almost all abortions. Pregnant Wisconsinites may travel to clinics in states like Minnesota and Illinois, where abortion services are more available. Lori Casey and her team are preparing for a surge in out-of-state patients.
We have to make sure that we have adequate staffing, that our doctors are available.
Casey is the executive director of We Health Clinic PA in Duluth, Minnesota, which provides abortion services among other health care.
If Minnesota is going to be a targeted state where abortion care is accessible, there could be more protesters traveling from out of state. And so we want to talk about beefing up our security. Also, just financially, it's going to cost us more to provide services.
In 2020, 99% of abortions in Wisconsin were among residents. Data from neighboring states shows Wisconsinites are getting abortions elsewhere. In 2020, there were 531 in Illinois. In Minnesota, that number was 548.
This is an eventuality that we've been preparing for years.
The Chief Strategy and Operations Officer for Planned Parenthood of Illinois says the number of out-of-state patients seeking abortions increased by 30% over the past several months.
Everything that you can think about that you would need to expand our ability to provide more access and more care internally, we are doing that.
The state of Minnesota is struggling with flooding that they believe is being made worse by climate change. We'll explain how they hope to curb that issue after the break.
Now's the time to start your lawn and garden projects with 11% off everything at Menards. Mastermark Lawn Edging is the perfect way to add a finishing touch to your garden. Save 11% on all Mastermark Lawn Edging. Keep your garden growing with Yardworks Garden Hoses. This 50-foot heavy-duty garden hose features a guard and grip connector for easy attachment. It's $19.99 after 11% rebate now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
My dad risked everything to start a little construction company. He was the welder, and my mom drove the dump truck. Nothing fancy about that, but it was theirs. I'm Tim Michaels, and I'm proud to follow in his footsteps, growing the business from a few hundred employees to today, over 8,000. I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman who knows how to get things done, create jobs, and how to lead. And that's exactly what I'll do as governor.
Tim Michaels for governor.
And I walked right into U.S. Cellular and I said I want to choose any phone in here for free.
What'd he say?
He said, sure. Really nice guy. I had my pick of any phone from any brand, free, even the newest ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got the big screen?
Yeah.
Big storage?
Yeah.
Fits in your pocket?
Fits in my pocket. You know, it's a big phone, and that's what I wanted, and I got what I wanted.
At U.S. Cellular, we put you first. So choose any phone free. Plus, get unlimited data for just $30 a month. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basementy company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
When you call a company other than Maher Water Corporation to service your water treatment system, do you really know what or who you are getting? Many companies just measure you up to do a bang-up job, then charge hundreds of dollars and have you sign service contracts. Maher's technicians are trained to not only service our own water care equipment, but most others as well. So if you don't want just any service tech servicing your water equipment, call us at Maher's today.
The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency held a conference discussing the role that climate change has had on flooding in the state. Esme Murphy has the story.
Thank you to everyone who is here with us today.
The MPCA held a virtual climate change meeting with community leaders from Biwabik, Richfield, and New Ulm to show climate change is statewide.
We have seen more intense precipitation events occur more frequently. You're seeing more localized flooding in areas that historically you may not have seen flooding.
Leaders in New Ulm say severe rains are their biggest problem. In Biwabik, unpredictable rain and snowfalls are hurting tourism year-round. Still, people don't think of these smaller communities as being that impacted by climate change. Let's take a look at Richfield, the inner ring suburb. Well, officials here estimate that climate change has cost taxpayers here hundreds of thousands of dollars, including right here at the Woodlake Nature Center. In 2019, a massive rain washed out this walkway. The replacement cost $250,000. Frequent high rain events are flooding new areas.
We have like a community Facebook page and people are putting on there like, I need help because my basement's flooding, and we're hearing about that more and more.
WCCO's Mike Augustinak is a certified consulting meteorologist qualified to consult on climate change issues. What should communities around the state know about what lies ahead when it comes to climate change?
The two big factors for Minnesota that will impact all of us are warming winters and more extreme precipitation, meaning times where we are flooding and times when we are droughting, but less of the average in between.
Esme Murphy, WCCO 4 News.
Maybe your bath is outdated, or it's difficult to clean, or it's just not as safe as it should be. Bella Friday here, and I am joined by Brian Gottlieb from Jacuzzi Bath Remodel. Brian, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Bella.
So Brian, two of the most common questions that we get are, what are the design options and are they affordable?
What are the design options? It really have endless designs that Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has brought to the market, all with great colors and textures and hardware. Where we actually come to your home and we bring all these things with us so you can design the bath of your dreams in the comfort of your own home. They'll even bring an iPad with them, so they design the bath on an iPad as you're picking out choices so you can really see what your bath or shower will look like.
And how does Jacuzzi Bath Remodel make that affordable?
Yeah, so on that very same iPad that we did the design work, they can do a very simple credit application and get an instant credit decision.
So not going to the bank?
No, none of that. It's a simple signature loan.
And what are some of the different terms for that?
Sure, well, we have a couple of different programs. We have a 12-month same as cash program if you want to not pay anything for a year. But we also have programs where the entire payment is about 1% of the overall project.
Okay, so just doing some quick math, if someone were to update their bathroom for $7,000, that's only $70 a month?
Yeah, it's really affordable. Imagine that having a beautiful bath installed in your home for $70 a month. You don't have to deal with a dangerous bath or a bath that's dirty anymore. You can truly have the bath of your dreams.
And I happen to know that Jacuzzi Bath Remodel brought some great savings. Take a look.
Now, for a limited time, we're waiving the installation costs on your new bath or shower project, and we'll postpone all of your payments for 1 full year. Now is the best time to finally get the jacuzzi shower you've always wanted. Remember, your installation costs are waived, and we'll postpone all your payments for 1 full year. This is a limited time offer, so be sure to call now and start saving today.
Freshly mown grass and sounds of friends' laughter is in the air. You're ready to rock the summer, and so is Wickersham Jewelry during their annual Diamonds and Grill event, April 4th through the 23rd. Give her the gorgeous ring she's been dreaming of. And get the Yeti Tundra 45 cooler or Traeger grill you've always wanted with a qualifying purchase. Interest-free financing available. Wickersham Jewelry. If you can dream it, we can make it.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Well, Jeff, we're in the midst of doing our Where in the World is Jeff Weller series. Obviously, you just got back from Cancun. You're going to be traveling once again next week, but you got to make sure that you're in the States on the night of May 15th. Do you want to know why?
I think I know why.
I'm pretty sure you do know why. Of course, we're going to have a really awesome lunar eclipse taking place on the night of the 15th into the early morning hours of the 16th. The main show, of course, the peak of that eclipse will happen at 11:11 p.m. They always say make a wish at 11:11. I wonder if you do it during an eclipse, if that makes it more
powerful. And pick up your feet over railroad tracks, too? Do you do that?
I've never done that.
Yeah, make a wish then, too. Yeah.
But it should be an awesome night.
These are fun to watch. And we'll just see, it's still too far out to see if the weather that day is going to cooperate with our viewing of this, but still, there's lots of stuff going on in the atmosphere and in space right now.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the atmosphere, let's check on temperatures. Look at this. We're in the 60s. Like, we earned it. We're here. Let's do it. It's going to keep going and going and going. In fact, it's going to get warmer. Later on next week, we're talking about potentially highs near 80 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're just missing a pretty big system to our south, bringing all sorts of severe weather to Oklahoma, into Arkansas, Missouri last night and today. That will stay there, though, as we have high pressure over Lake Superior. That's going to keep us dry until probably Sunday night. Keep in mind, Sunday is also Mother's Day. So our 7-day is looking like it should look this time of year. We're hanging out in the 60s tomorrow and Saturday. There's Mother's Day, dry weekend. Fishing opener, of course, on Saturday. Put the boat in. I saw a couple boats being towed by cars today. The season has started.
Yes. We are getting there, Jeff, and I cannot wait for it. I know you can't either. I'm excited. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 6.